Cool.
We're here with Lumen Vera today, Head Esports Coach at Loyola University here in New Orleans. What's up, Lumen? Thank you so much for being
How's,
here with us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So,
It's yeah. Go ahead.
no. I was gonna say before we start, can you explain like a bit how you got to be a
Yeah,
Head Esports Coach?
yeah. So I'm 34 now. I started competing when I was 10 years old. My cousins and I, we got into Counter-Strike back 1.5, and we played for 15, 20 years, just competing, just playing for fun. I jumped from game to game, so I competed a little bit in Dota. And then when Overwatch came out in 2016, I went really, really hard and went pro for a little bit. I was a player for a little while and then moved my way up to captain and then moved my way up to manager to like the fundraiser, the marketer, everything. And then little by little, I was like, as a player, I need to move to a coach because I'm losing my skill. I'm doing less as a player. And so I moved to coaching, and then I started going on different discords and talking to people. And so then I reached to a place called people called Predator Esports. At the time, they were the number one team in Mexico for Overwatch, so I coached them for a little while. And then from there, I started my own esports organization for called Crescent Esports. It's even though I'm from California, it was ran here out of New Orleans, so I was working remotely. And then from there, it was that's how I got the job here at Loyola. They saw the credentials, they saw what I was doing. I sent an email in, and then they hired me here. And so this is how I went from I'd done the gambit of esports, of player, content creator, organization owner, all these different things.
That's great. And was there a community before you came, or was Loyola interested in having in getting an esports program going, and that's why they hired you? Was it student run,
So
or you came and made it
no,
all?
the school, to my knowledge, what they explained is that the school had been talking about it for a few years now. There
Mhm.
was a gaming club that was ran by students, but at the time, at least from what I can tell, they weren't really doing anything. They were just more hanging out and just kind of playing games together. That's very simple. And then when I came in, that's when it turned over to more esports and more competitiveness and things like that.
That's great. And with your experience and everything, like what are the skills you're looking to develop in students so when they go to a workforce they can apply? What are the skills through esports or like in general you're keen, in developing them?
So what I want them to gain specific like as a priority is business communication and business organization, in the fact that they can learn to speak to professionals and
Mhm.
teammates in a way that they can understand each other, instead of like how we argue with our friends. Having that ability to be able to say to someone on a professional level, hey, I need you to do this, this doesn't work for me, and I need to be able to you need to have that communication. And then the organization side of things, of when you are part of something bigger, when you're part of a team, when you're part of a competitive something that's bigger than yourself, you have a team that relies on you, and thus you have to push yourself more. You can't just you can't be lazy about it. You have to really work hard and work hard together. And so these skills that get applied in business are things that we don't really do unless we're in a position to do so. And esports allows you to do that, because usually you're on a team where you have to worry about other people and you work with them intimately. Sometimes things don't work out, sometimes they do. And so you have to be able to talk to them productively and be able to talk to them confidently, because things are important and you can't just let them go. Another is actual skills such as marketing, such as learning social media, such as understanding algorithms for like YouTube, Twitch, those kinds of things, because these are all skills that are going into the new world. We're getting into this higher technology, and so no longer are we needing to really look at like paperwork, but they need to understand how social media is working so that they can one, manage their own selves, manage if they want to run their own business, and then be able to apply that to whatever they're going to. It's learning the internet is essentially what it is.
Yeah. So basically, you guide him in those years in university to build a personal brand, which is essential. I think that's
Yes.
now like you can even negotiate paychecks with the communities you have. It's not like businesses saying what they will pay you. Is you saying
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you have that community and that brand. So it's amazing, and also you're an experienced content creator that we talked
Yeah,
before. So
they yeah.
a
The
lot.
big things is learning. Like again, the hardest thing to learn to do is genuinely just ask for money. Is to say I want this amount of money and this is what you need to pay me. And so with coming to this program, these students will learn those skills. The marketing deck I sent you, the students made that. So they make the graphics, they do the marketing, they do the outreach. I talk to them and they send me their emails and say, hey, does this look good? And I say, you need to fix this, this, and this, or it looks really good, go ahead. And they're the ones who set up these networking opportunities. I just say, hey, reach out to this person or reach out to this person. And then if a student has an idea of, oh, I want to run this type of event, I tell them, okay, go do it. This is your idea. This is your baby. Go set it up, and I'll be there to help you out. So it is a lot of the students get free reign to do what they need to do. And for me, that's why I look for those particular students who are willing to push themselves when they have an idea, even if they don't know how to do it. They still try to go for it, and they ask questions, and they want to do something. It is hard to work with a student that is just basically that I need to hold their hand and say, come along, we need to go, work on this or play this, instead of them being like, no, I want to do this. I think I want to play this. I think I want to compete here. It's just the motivation and that drive, because that's hard to teach. If a student doesn't know, that's okay. We can always talk about it.
I mean, amazing, like being at university, like being able for you to empower like the students, like so then they develop all the skills that maybe in a job, if they mess up, they can get fired or like, or they're scared to like take risks. So like if from the as a freshman year, you allow them to take risks, this didn't learn and take a new route, the also workforce with an amazing skill set. So that's amazing. That's
That's
amazing.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. They need to be able to. It's I like to call it controlled failure,
Mhm.
because if they're freshmen, they're new to all this. They are going to mess up. They are going to fail at something, and that's okay. Like college esports is in a place right now, and college in general is a place for you to take risks. It's the point of why you're here. You're not just learning, you're networking, you're meeting new people, you're taking these risks. And that's why, if you do take these risks, my job is to minimize how much damage is done. So it's kind of when someone comes in with me with an idea, I say, okay, these are things you need to worry about, and just letting you know, like, if this doesn't work, it might fail. Just to give an example, when we started a year ago, we did this huge event, several games going on. It was supposed to be an overnight event, and we went from like 10 p.m. to I think 8 a.m. We were trying to go to 10 a.m. We were trying to do a full 10 hour or 12 hours, but I was too tired and I couldn't do it. But it was chaotic, and the students, felt stressed and overwhelmed. And then we talked about it, and then I said, yeah, that was the kind of the point. It was to show you that one, it's okay to fail. Two, even though we did, people still had fun. It was still a success. People still remember it, and that's the point. And those are things that are going to happen through, like, if you come here. These are events that you're going to run. These are things you're going to do, and it's okay.
That's
I
great.
want to
And
empower students. Yeah.
yeah, and how do you guide the students because they have to go to class, then practice, and compete? And maybe how do you guide a student, for example, usually his first year that he's not used to all this time management, all this tight schedule. If they are a bit overwhelmed, how would you guide them? Into or would you are there resources in the university you can go to to have that help, or is it you that that guides them? How would that work?
So, two answers here. One, the school and myself act as a resource. The school has a student success center, so students can go to. It's kind of like a tutor. It has tutoring as well, but it's a place that you can go to build a what's called a roadmap. So the school has counselors that help you say, okay, here are your classes. Here's generally how much time it's probably going to take for you to do this. So here's essentially like a roadmap for you to build. Like you have, let's say you have 5 classes. All right, you want to put hours here, 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 and here, and this is to help you balance. So the school has that, and then they can also talk to me to help them organize it if they feel a little overwhelmed to go to some people they don't know. Um, excuse me. The other is the second way is just empathy. It is I've been there. College, everything's new. There's a lot to balance. You don't want to fail. You don't want to let anybody down. And also, especially for international students, they may have never left home. No, this is a whole new country, or this might be a whole new country. They don't have any friends that they know, so everything's new to them, and it's overwhelming because they're like, well, what happens? So that is something I talk with them about, of saying like, it's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to like be scared of these things. It's okay to feel this. Here's what I need from you. As a coach, I don't particularly like the idea of the stereotype of a coach of like, no matter what you have to push, no matter what you have to do this and this. It's my idea is that if you want to do something, you're going to do it. So my goal as a coach is to keep you feeling like you want to do this, like you want to push yourself. And if there are times where you feel burnt out, sometimes that you do, it's okay. We talk about it. So those are the two main ways. One is the resources that the program has and the school has, and then the other is genuinely just having a conversation and giving the student time to express and talk about how they're feeling, and giving them that space to make them feel okay.
That's great. Well said. And talking about more about facilities, like can you explain, because that's usually what the students also like
Yeah,
approaches.
yeah, yeah.
Can you explain a bit about the facilities you currently have?
So we have a 20 PC facility. We have 2 switches because we have a Super Smash Brothers team, and again, the students are the ones who built the room. I got the technology, they built the room, and for those particular students who know their technology, here are the schematic, or here are the specifications. So our PCs are AMD Ryzen 7s, 3070 GPUs, 1 terabyte SSD, and then as far as monitors, our monitors are bigger than the tournament standard. So instead of 24 to 27 inches, we have 31.5 inch. We have 165 hertz refresh rate, and then as far as peripherals, headsets, mouse, keyboard, those are all Logitech based. That doesn't mean students have to use those. If a student has their own mouse and keyboard that they want to bring and headset that they want to bring, they can do that. And then for us, we also have custom gamer chairs that have our logo and stuff like that on it. And then we do give jerseys, and we do give Under Armour gear to the students when they come in.
That's right. And talking about like sponsors or partnerships, what are like some of them that benefit the students? Like what are the sponsors you have or the partnerships you are working
So
on?
this, as far as I can't really talk about the ones I'm working on, but as far as
Okay.
the school is partnered with, like, exclusively partnered with Under Armour. So the gear that they get, the jerseys that they get, are Under Armour. They get jackets. They get athletic wear. We're trying to I'm trying to build sponsorships and partnerships with certain groups. I know we're not officially partnered with them, but we have a good relationship with MSI. We have a good relationship with Logitech. So while we're not partnered or exclusive or anything like that with them, when we do giveaways, we usually have stuff from them to give away and work with. And then because of the way New Orleans is specifically, the culture here in this city is very brotherhood. It's very collaborative.
Mhm.
We get a lot of giveaways from local businesses. So that's usually food. That's usually music. That kind of stuff.
That's great. That's great. And also, what would be like no, let's talk about like nutrition and physical exercise. Like, do you talk to students and inform them? I don't say like you require it, but like, do you talk about the importance, in performance and in the well-being, like having a balanced academic practice and all these other aspects?
Yeah. So the way it works is it's kind of a joke, but a little bit serious. So there's the idea of like you have your academic life, you have your social life, and then you have your competitive life. So you have this triangle of things that you need to balance, and the joke is like choose two. So, like if you really want to focus on like at Loyola, academics always come first. So no matter what, that's always the number one priority. And then the competitive life, the esports program is a second priority. And then you have your social life, whatever the students are doing. When it comes to specifically health and fitness, or like fitness and health, that is a huge thing. We have a gym, we have a facility that the students can go to. uh, I am currently attempting to create a, excuse me, I'm currently wanting to create a fitness regimen that the students can follow, because even though esports is not physically demanding, to mentally stay focused, to mentally stay at the top in those very intense, stressful situations when you're competing, it's going to help you to be physically fit, to be physically healthy, and also uh, stay focused. So that's one thing. And then as far as food, the school here, New Orleans, is known for its food and its music. And the food here is really good. We have a good cafeteria. We also have a sister school across the street. So when your meal plan here works at this school and works at that school. So you can basically use both. And so the cafeteria here is really nice. Some of the food over at the school across the street is also really good as well. So you have a variety.
Oh yeah, that's great to
Yeah.
know. And what is the ratio of like students that would like to go to the esports industry and those students that do esports but like have wanna put to the workforce in their major? What would
Ooh.
you say? Don't like not a specific ratio, but like what would you think is
If I'm basing it off last year, most students, because I pulled from in the school, most students uh, kind of knew what esports was, but they weren't really involved in it. Um, and then the minority of students, like there was one or two students that I did have that knew what they wanted it, like knew esports and knew they wanted to get into it and knew they wanted to go farther in it. And so it's at the moment for the first year it was a pretty small ratio. Coming into this year, it's getting bigger, and going into probably 2024, I'm majority of who I'm pulling, the students and all that, are going to be students that are going to be for esports specifically. Again, for different things. Um, they come here to compete, but they'll be able to do, again, social media. They'll be able to do marketing. They'll be able to do all these different things.
that's right. And Lumen, just to wrap this up, where can people find the program like on social media?
So everything is Loyno Esports. I have it in parentheses under my name. So you just put at Loyno Esports. That's the Instagram. That's the Twitter. That's the TikTok. I don't think we have Snapchat. That's the Facebook. It's all these. We made it what is it called? Unified. So you can go there. And then if you need to get a hold of me, I mean, I don't have it on here, but my tag is Lulu Meister, which Ivan, I know you have, and then we can send that out.
Okay, that's great, Evan. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
sure.